Hi guys, a few things to say today. They will seem abstract. I like to be as brief as possible. They're just random thoughts about Chantal's recent streams. People have assumed from what Foodie said that she earns $6,000 a month. YouTube Underground reminded us that this was a good month of earnings for Chantal because she returned to Canada and people were interested in seeing what was going to happen. It doesn't mean she will be earning that much consistently from here on. YouTube isn't a reliable source of income, as we all know. To imagine that she spent her way through $6,000 in 2 weeks is insane, yet she refuses to buy a cat tree or a scratch post for kitten because, according to Chantal, the cat prefers to be glued to her and she wouldn't take an interest in a new toy. Suggesting a little kitty, who isn't any different to a human toddler and likes to play, won't be drawn to anything else except an immobile human, is a war raid siren for self-deluded grandeur. The self-importance of this woman is out of this world. We have seen little one run around. Baby cat definitely is interested in play. Cats are intelligent beings who need stimulation. Which brings me to the next point about people saying the kitten will destroy Chantal's apartment. I'm not sure what exactly onlookers mean, because I don't see a tiny one tearing down walls or tearing up floorboards. I don't see her peeling paint off walls either, or demolishing any fixture. Little Kitty has been interested in items like the snowman, or furniture she can climb on like the television screen. She most certainly will be interested in climbing a cat tree. As for the point of pet namelessness, I still disagree with the motivation of connection avoidance on Chantal's behalf. To Foodie, a name or anything else is inconsequential. She doesn't emotionally attach. Even if she gave birth to a child, she wouldn't feel love. She validation attaches. A man will always signify more narcissistic supply value to Foodie than an animal or a kid, because a romantic partner aims at her vanity, her desirability as a woman, her attractiveness. A couple of other things, too, that Chantal has said showcase her distorted view of herself as superior, but also her justification of entitlement. Like a viewer commented, she's simultaneously overconfident and has shame complex about herself. It's paradoxical, yes. It is an indicative sign of somebody who is a narcissist, most likely sociopathic. A psychopath has no doubt about his supremacy. Sociopaths get offended if people doubt them or point out flaws in their behavior. Another quote I will lift to show you how deluded about her status she is. I spent a lot of time with you guys. I deserve that money. She was making reference to the few $1,000s of donations she collected just before leaving Syria as help for her relocating. Imagine a person believing they deserve money for appearing online, while lying down, doing nothing, and slurring in substance-fueled stupor. Her being there, in front of an audience, was reason enough for her to be paid, in her opinion. I'm sure she believes the details of her life which she has shared, her opening up and crying about toy boy husband, and other information related to her life, are like a soapie to viewers. A reality show that people are hooked on, so she deserves monetary reward for entertaining those watching. Another comment she made, I don't know how seriously she meant it, was about her announcing she is a huge fan of dill-flavoured foods. Suddenly she observed, dill-flavoured items are appearing everywhere, including the menu at McDonald's. Maybe I am an influencer, she concluded. I promise you, Chantal, McDonald's wasn't inspired by you on any level for their dill sauce. If we consider that in the past she told us humans who are beautiful in appearance hold a pretty card and can get away with things others can't, we understand how skewed her view of life is. I am prettier than 90% of YouTube, so I can get away with almost anything, was comment of the year, and not in a positive way. Chantal, there are 25-year-old stunning girls making clothes, painting, singing, cooking, dancing, travelling, rescuing abused animals, and all sorts of useful activities, with channels. How can you be deluded enough to believe you are hotter than them? The audacity makes me question her mental health in a serious way. This isn't a joke. Unless she meant she fares well out of reactor channels and viewers. That she's better looking than the majority of them. Again, this is very delusional when we consider how many pretty ladies and pretty young girls are out there who follow her saga. I think her ego inflates, if it's possible for it to get any bigger, when she is with her Syrian romance scammer. He tells her what she wants to hear. He fills her head with ideas that her beauty is superior to anybody else's, that people are jealous of her because she's so pretty and well known. He tells her what he does to manipulate her and control her. Not only does she crave his attention, but hearing such overstated compliments from him. That's why she's desperate to return to Syria whenever she's in Canada. One of the reasons, anyway. A main one. So he keeps her hooked. Perhaps part of her $6,000 monthly earnings in November went to her ex-husband. Maybe that's why she's sped her way through it so fast. I don't believe she's paying any of her debts back. She's not responsible enough. And she's addicted to male attention. Syrian Playboy will continue to be funded as long as he makes an appearance every now and then. He knows what he's doing. So in her chats he comes. To be fair, the human mind is frail and can be influenced. That's why manipulation and romance scams are a thing. Professionals, educated and intelligent people get sucked in too. For some it takes less, for others a bit more. But the mind starts thinking and believing oddities. We must remember narcissists don't develop only due to neglect at a young age. If you keep being told that you're pretty, cute and special from childhood, you end up living in a bubble of distortion. Foodie's mum, as we know, refers to her as cutie until now. So does her aunt. Maybe her grandmother did too. She was brought up spoiled, with her ego constantly caressed. So she now believes she's prettier than the majority of women, that she's special. Logic fights conditioning. She can see that she is largely overweight. She's losing hair. Let's be fair, when she does herself up, she looks fairly decent. On a good day, her face is aesthetically pleasing. But along come thoughts that she can no longer have children. In a Middle Eastern marriage, offspring are imperative. Relationships are difficult to establish and maintain. She knows this. Chantal, as a broken person who admits her dysfunction, feels inadequate as a life partner. At the same time, she feels superior, deserving, and above others due to her pretty face as she perceives circumstances. All of these elements conflict with one another and make her feel both with inflated confidence and insecure at the same time. Chantal definitely has issues with narcissism and self-absorption. All indicators support that she also has apathy and couldn't care less for anybody else except her immediate gratification and pleasure. In closing, I will say that what people have concluded and that he's stringing her along for cash, as well as a possible Canadian residency if she agrees to work on her health, her behaviour in relationships, and if she shows progress, isn't the only excuse he's using to buy himself distance. He's also likely telling her that Syria needs to recuperate from its political instability and transition it is currently undergoing. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Until next time.